Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Dude, What's My Job? Managing Millennials in Today's Workforce. We're going to talk a bit about what this generation is and what they're all about, and also some relationship to prior generations that have gone before. We're going to be talking specifically about how to manage them, and so part of this will be helpful for you just as HR professionals, because certainly you are experiencing a lot of the issues as well. But there'll also be some tips and guidance for things that you can be sharing with the managers within your own company. And along the way, we'll be throwing in a bunch of quotes and stats and interesting stuff. And the word we hear most commonly is entitlement. Did that word form itself in any of your minds when we began this conversation? Probably. Now, people don't necessarily use that term, but they certainly use the concept. Entitlement, I am deserving of something just because of who I am, not because of anything I've done. Comes from the feudal days, lords and kings owning land, passing it down. I was born to this family, therefore I'm entitled to a bunch of stuff. Well, that's the nature of it, and that's what a lot of millennials are infected with. And on the opposite side of the desk, you've got their managers in the workplace. And what are they all about? Duty. You've heard it in that comment about paying their dues and getting in line. And don't they understand things take time? And so that is the #1 issue that comes up. And for some background on this, I'll say that these young people are not crazy. You've also got issues of explanation versus action. A lot of the managers tell us, my gosh, do I have to tell them where the bathroom is? Do I have to explain things over and over again? Do I have to hold their hands at every single assignment? Right? Why do they need all this explanation? Because the boss is all about action. Well, this stuff has some roots in society as well. I grew up in Michigan. We had a couple of acres, lots of grass to cut. And if I wasn't working in my dad's store 20 hours a week at 9 years old, literally true, I was at home cutting the grass on weekends. Me and my brother. It was our little project. And if I'd ever said to my dad, if my dad says, hey, go cut the grass this weekend instead of coming to work, and I said, why do I have to cut the grass? What was my dad's answer? Do you know my dad? That was basically it, because I said so. And it was true of just about everything he ever asked me to do, right? If I ever were to say, well, why me? What was the answer? It was some variation of, because I said so. Well, I'm not stupid. After a couple of times, I realized I'm going to have to do it anyway, so why be perceived to be lazy and that I don't want to do it? Just go do it. Whatever he's going to say, just do it anyway. Who cares, right? Well, that patterns you a little bit. Flash forward now, kid goes to dad. Dad says, hey, could you cut the grass this weekend, son? Son says, well, why do I have to cut the grass? And dad says, well, son, let me explain it to you. I get this great job working for whatever company, and thank gosh I do, with the world around us. That job is wonderful. It provides most of the home around us and our lifestyle and everything we got going for us. And your mom, she's got a terrific job. She's doing well. They love her there. And somehow she has managed to raise all of you. That woman is a saint. And your sisters, they got jobs. They got to clean up. They got to do shopping. They got to do this, they do that. And your job, son, your job is to cut the grass. And son says, okay. He goes out and he does a great job. But he's been given a 5-minute exegesis of the big picture, the little picture, the universe, and where he fits in it, right? And he has gotten that his entire We're going to talk about structure, how to personalize things, encourage and engage them, communications, information, adjusting your personal style, and then learning and mentoring. What does it spell? Special, because they are. All right, so on the point of structure, the first is they do need structure. They may think that they don't want it, but they appreciate it. And so structure is everything. What exactly is required of you? When are the due dates and deadlines? What are the things you can miss? What are the things you can't? You got to do that a lot early on in managing someone. If they're a brand new person working for you in your group, it's going to be 6 months, maybe a year of a heavy structure, and then you do want to wean them off. We're not talking about putting crutches in place that you use for the rest of their careers, but they haven't had a lot of it, and so they need some of it, and they got to learn how to get used to it. A manager has to be patient in that. Personalized stuff. You do want to have relationships. This is another buzzword of management in the aughts and into the teens here. Everyone's talking about relationships with clients, with internals, with externals, whatever. We got to build them, and relationships take time. So as a manager, you have to talk and listen. You got to dedicate some time. And I'm not saying take them to lunch every week or have drinks every Friday night. Nothing of the sort. But a manager better spend some dedicated time, and I'm saying 20 minutes at least once a month with their direct reports. But beyond that, I hope that you had a great conference, and I hope that you learned something in this session that makes it a little bit easier. You can go back and share with your managers and your companies. Thank you very much.